Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new game Shin Chan, Shiro and the Cold Town that is now released on the Nintendo Switch and PC. I'm going to run you over everything you need to know about this game and what to expect so you know if this game is for you. Honestly, I was a little bit shocked by this one. I really enjoyed it and didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, so hopefully you might think the same. For full transparency, this video has kindly been sponsored by the developers, so huge thank you to them for that. I have also put a link in the description to the Steam page so you can learn a little bit more about the game and see if it's something that you want to pick up. Don't forget to like and also subscribe, but let's get into it. So let's start off with a little bit of background about this game. You might be looking at it and thinking the character in this game looks a little familiar, and you would be right. This game has been based off of the popular Japanese manga series Crayon Shin Chan, which was later adapted into an animated TV show. In addition to the TV series, there has also been previous game titles based on them. Most recently in 2022 was Shin Chan, Me and the Professor on Summer Vacation, The Endless 7-Day Journey. Boy, that title is a mouthful. But both that game and Shin Chan, Shiro and the Cold Town follow a similar story style where you follow Shin Chan on a summer adventure. Although the premise of the game is kind of the same, this one has a whole fresh story and a fresh twist to the game. In this story, you arrive in Shin Chan's father's village, Akita, due to your father's extended business trip. During the first few days, you were given a heartwarming introduction to Shin Chan and his family, particularly his grandfather, who begins to guide him through rural life by showing him how to catch bugs and fish. After a few days, a mysterious train will arrive and you'll be transported through the Japanese countryside to Cold Town. The town's appearance is in stark contrast to the open fields of the village, and there is definitely some strange going-ons below the surface of this hard-working Cold Town. And the town people just happen to need a 5-year-old boy to save the day, which is perfect because that is exactly what Shin Chan is. I have really enjoyed following the story so far, and I do love the contrast between the two areas. There is a real juxtaposition between the settings, which is nice as you get to slowly explore around the different areas. But one thing that remains the same in both the village and the town is the gorgeous backdrops. The visuals in this game were really nice. In Akita, you are surrounded by the bright poster colours, which vary from bright greens and blues in the rice paddies to the more muted and whimsical mountains and woodlands. Cold Town is still beautiful, although it is a lot more rugged, and you will see much more warm tones and lots of cityscapes. One of my standout moments so far was riding through the countryside on the train, which was a lovely cutscene. You will also find little moments of beauty like this throughout the game, as there are smaller segments which capture things such as the night sky and other kind of settings around the home, so it's just a really nice snapshot. It is not just the colours and art style of this game that are vibrant, the characters' personalities in this game are definitely also that. Shin Chan is definitely the star of the show in this game, and he has some surprising adult humour, which as someone who hasn't fully enjoyed the TV series, I was not expecting this, but it definitely gave me a welcome giggle here and there, so that is definitely something you need to bear in mind going into this game, because there is an ongoing butt theme throughout, which you will definitely soon notice. Shin Chan also seems to have a problem listening, which caused a few humorous moments too. He is definitely not suspicious. The game isn't all humour though, and there were some really nice family moments captured, particularly when it comes to your daily family meal. I also particularly loved Shiro, the family dog, being my companion throughout. He even came in useful helping me find things. Outside of the family, there is a huge variety of characters that span over both regions. Admittedly, none of these characters are quite as strong as Shin Chan personality-wise. Let's face it, it probably would be hard to beat. But they all do definitely have their particular quirks, and there is a good variety from the 4 protectors of the Kasukabe Guard to the excitable bug collector and a genius scientist, to name a few. There are a lot of characters to get to know and interact with, and their personalities do shine through. The characters are also important to the game because they kind of guide how the storyline plays out through a variety of quests. The quests are overall really fun. There is quite a few fetch quests, but I did enjoy them as you were kind of flicking between collecting ingredients and resources, so you were on the hunt for different things. They were also relatively quick to complete as I found myself picking up everything and anything I could as I was running around the world. Also, if you find yourself unable to complete a main quest, there are so many side quests or other character interactions to have. One thing I quite enjoyed was some little quizzes, which made for an interesting change. Aside from the quests, there are also so many other things to do in this game. There is your journal to complete, which consists of bugs you catch, fish, forageables, and also ores. These items can be found scattered throughout the world. The bug catching is pretty easy, and you'll have to keep your eyes peeled for flying insects, those that reside on trees or even on the ground. The fishing is also very straightforward, and as someone who despises fishing, it was honestly quite enjoyable. There are a few fishing spots throughout the world, and you have 2 tools available to you, but all you actually have to do to reel the fish in is click once the fish has been latched on. Super easy. Overall, I have found myself wanting to catch all the bugs, fish, and just complete this whole journal, which Blathers will be very jealous of. I was also pretty surprised when I learned that there was farming in the game. Thankfully, this was pretty small and manageable, and as you get to progress through the game, you also get a hand in watering your crops, which was nice. If you fancy yourself as a completionist, there is also an accomplishment page to do. Trading and shopping also feature in the game. There are 2 bulletin boards and 2 shops. There's a shop in Akita and a bulletin board, and also the same in Coal Town. The bulletin board and also the shop means that you can purchase items and use your pocket money that you have earned from doing tasks, which was quite nice. One of the best activities though has to be the trolley racing. This is a really fun little activity come mini game where you race around in minecarts to collect gems, and the person with the highest score wins. There's lots of different tracks and they all have kind of minor changes and different routes and things. It was honestly really enjoyable, and as an added bonus you get items for winning. Really good fun. I love the kind of break in the pace from everything else that was going on. So I think that's a pretty detailed overview of the game so far. Here are some quick other things you might want to know. There is a day to night clock. The day takes up, as you would expect, most of your time. There is also an evening period where once you've completed, you'll be called in for dinner, and then you have the nighttime, which comes after that, where you are actually confined to a smaller area, which was kind of handy for completing things such as my farming. I didn't find the time limitations overly restricting. Just occasionally there was a little bit of a minor upset when I had to return home when I was trying to complete a quest in Coal Town. I think this feeling was probably helped by the fact that there is no energy or stamina bar in the game, so you're not stressing over that and the time, so it definitely did have a more laid back feel. You can also save the game at any time. You don't need to wait to go to bed, which I know will be a huge plus for some people. The controls did feel pretty smooth. Even though I played with keyboard and mouse, the game does recommend for you to play with a controller, and I could tell the UIs and their movement that this was the case. The UIs themselves were really easy to read, and I think you would have zero issues playing with controller. I even think it'd be good on the Switch as well. One thing that might take a little bit of getting used to is the different camera angles in the different scenes. At first it was a little confusing as to where to go, and you have to kind of find your path through the picture and kind of move back and forward, so it really plays around with depth. But I did soon get adjusted to this and actually found it quite a quirky feature, as the different areas can provide you with different perspectives, which was quite nice. I mentioned the graphics earlier, but the music also is very pleasant in the game and had quite a soothing melody. The sound effects from Shin Chan do tend to ruin that occasionally though. He definitely comes out with some odd noises. Overall, this game honestly shocked me. I wasn't prepared to like this as much as I did, and I honestly want to continue playing it and maybe even complete that journal. Thank you again to the developers for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to check the description to learn more about this game. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye!